At 19 years old, Ben Francis was sewing gym clothing in his small bedroom, surrounded by fabric, thread, and a second-hand sewing machine he barely knew how to use. During the day, he attended college. At night, he delivered pizzas just to earn some extra money. And somewhere in the middle of all that, without knowing it, he was building one of the fastest-growing fitness brands in the world. A company that would eventually be worth over $1 billion. But none of it happened the way you'd expect. Ben wasn't born into wealth. He didn't have a team of designers. What he did have was an obsession with fitness, and a problem that nobody else seemed to care about. Back then, in the early 2010s, no major brand made gym clothing designed for people who actually lifted weights. Instead of complaining about it, Ben made a decision that most people his age would never even consider. He decided to make the clothes himself. He used the little money he saved from delivering pizzas to buy a cheap sewing machine and a screen printer. And right there in his bedroom, he started cutting fabric, stitching seams, and printing logos. The early versions weren't perfect. In fact, they weren't even good. But every day he improved, learning the craft piece by piece. Even then, Gymshark wasn't really a company. It was just a teenager experimenting with passion and curiosity. He had no idea what was coming. At first, almost nobody noticed. It would have been easy to quit, and most people his age would have. But Ben saw something important. He saw the fitness world moving online. This was the early rise of fitness YouTubers. People like Matt Bogus, Chris Lovato, Nikki Blackketter, Lex Little, and other early influencers were building communities through training videos and physique updates. They were inspiring millions, and brands weren't paying attention yet. Ben Francis noticed. Instead of spending money on advertising that he didn't even have, he reached out directly to these fitness creators. Not with contracts, not with sponsorship deals, just a simple offer. If you like the clothes, wear them. He shipped them Gymshark apparel for free, hoping maybe someone would wear it in a video. This single move changed everything. People suddenly wanted the clothes. Orders began coming in faster than Ben and his friends could sew them. Then faster. Then so fast that the website crashed. Ben was overwhelmed. Nights became all-nighters. His bedroom turned into a mini factory. Every spare moment went into building this thing that was suddenly exploding. But the real turning point, the moment Gymshark became a global name, happened in 2013 at a fitness expo. He didn't know if anyone would come. He didn't know if anyone cared. He just took the risk. And then something unbelievable happened. The influencers Ben had sent clothes to showed up wearing Gymshark gear. Fans recognized them and rushed to the booth. Then it doubled. People weren't just buying the clothes. They were buying into a movement. Gymshark sold out of every single product in just a few hours. People were chanting the brand's name. Fans were posting it everywhere. By the end of the event, Gymshark wasn't a small bedroom startup anymore. That expo transformed Ben's life. But it also created new challenges. Suddenly he had to scale production, manage inventory, improve manufacturing, and transition from teenager with a sewing machine to CEO of a rapidly growing company. It wasn't easy. Ben wasn't a trained leader. He didn't go to business school. He wasn't prepared. But he surrounded himself with smarter people, hired experts, and stepped down as CEO when the company needed someone with more experience, a move most founders would never make. It was a humble decision, but it kept Gymshark growing. Meanwhile, Gymshark was dominating social media. Their influencer-first strategy became a blueprint for the entire industry. Their clothes defined modern fitness style. Their athletes became celebrities, and Gymshark's community became one of the strongest in fitness culture. By 2020, Gymshark was officially valued at over $1 billion. And the kid who once delivered pizzas for minimum wage became one of the youngest billionaires in the United Kingdom. Ben Francis didn't succeed because he had money. He didn't succeed because he was lucky. He succeeded because he acted on an idea, improved relentlessly, and adapted when things got tough. His story is proof that sometimes the greatest businesses don't start with investors, perfect plans, or fancy offices. They start with ignorance. They start with frustration. They start with someone deciding to solve a problem for themselves. And maybe that's what separates dreamers from builders. This is Business Untold. Subscribe for the next